Hi.
Hi. Who's
Sorry.
this?
Hi, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to be back here, like as an official member of the.
You are.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, welcome aboard. Brittany has the day off, and we're here holding down the fort on yet another busy news week. And you guys have just been killing it on the sports side. So
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun. I think we finally found a little bit of our rhythm, and it's one of those things where, you work with great people and all of a sudden you come in every day and it just starts getting more and more fun. And I think that's the point we've reached now. So I hope people are enjoying it. We're certainly enjoying bringing it to everybody.
has our resident volleyball mom, psycho volleyball mom, been on you yet?
That's me.
Not yet.
No, I get on Shaney Waney because he's always there. Actually, no, I don't. He does a great job.
So yeah. So anyway, no. But Quincy High volleyball is doing very well, though, right?
Fantastic.
Undefeated.
Undefeated.
When is the crosstown showdown for that event?
I've got to look at my schedule.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like they've done.
I'm so disappointed.
I failed you. Know that there's a big
that's
show.
okay.
I know there's a big showdown between Q&D and Hannibal volleyball next week, and Hannibal is legitimately good. So
Yeah.
that's already high on next week's schedule.
That'll be interesting.
Well, okay.
I don't care who plays. I love to watch, but of course I like QHS, of course. It's the
Yes,
best.
of course
Yes,
you do.
of
No,
course,
it's
of course,
again,
of
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Again, the volleyball's always been strong around this area, of course. Carthage had some good teams once upon a time. I said that for our guests.
Yes, I knew where you were going with that right when you said it.
So I don't know. She's probably young enough to be Illini West, not old enough to be Carthage, right? She's young, right?
She's very young.
Very young, yeah.
And looks
okay.
even younger than she
Yes,
is.
Okay.
Guys, quit sucking up.
We'll get into that later.
She did such a great job on our website. We kind of have to.
did.
Yes, the new
That's-
sports site rocks.
Yeah, that's a little hint of
it's
who
really
the guests
good.
are.
Yes. So.
But before we get to the guests, we got some stuff to talk about.
We do. It's been the news hasn't been fun lately, especially on the national level, and some of it has sort of has come home a little bit because we've had a couple of instances where the discussion has ranged on the horrible assassination of Charlie Kirk. Last week it was the lady at Freddy's who lost her job, and this week it's not local, but it still reverberates with Jimmy Kimmel, his show basically getting suspended because of a monologue he said. I've got that monologue attached. You can see it at the bottom if you haven't seen it. We've all made sure we watched it. Yes, Kimmel trashes President Trump on a regular basis, no question about it.
Yeah.
And that rant that he had Monday night was very, very focused on the president. It had a small segment in it on the Charlie Kirk assassination. That part of it I did not think was egregious. It wasn't in the best of taste, but I don't think it went beyond the pale. It certainly wasn't as aggressive as most of some of the comments have been, and some of the people who have been canceled, for lack of a better term. But again, I think it sends a message because again, this has happened. We've had people on the left and on the right who've said dumb things and have gone away for a while. And this is just another instance of that. But it seems like this is now on steroids now.
Yeah.
That this happens.
Well, maybe it's just because there are so many things happening and people are saying, I mean, personally, Jimmy Kimmel, he's divisive. Anybody who's reaching that large of an audience, who's trashing one full side of a political spectrum is not my style.
Right.
I think cancel culture is blown out of proportion. I think this is, he said some off-cuff stuff, and I wouldn't go on like my company page and start ranting about something, right? I also question if his writers got fired. I didn't realize the whole show was on the outs,
Hiatus,
right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, but I don't think it's a big loss. I do caution how far we put this thing. A lot of people are crying First Amendment. Free speech only covers you from the government, not your job.
But technically, it was kind of the government this time, because basically the FCC chairman was the one who really got after him. That is the government. They're the ones who decide whether television stations have licenses.
Oh.
And then the ABC stations owned by two companies, two of the companies that own the major ones, Sinclair and Nexstar, are the ones who basically told their affiliates they were yanking the show. So in this instance, it kind of is. I'm talking against the government and the government is cracking down on me.
But was it the government or was it the instance that created? I mean, we could talk all day about it.
It was. The companies were kowtowing to the government because they are trying to make moves. I believe. Is it Nexstar's trying to make a big purchase?
It's Nexstar that's got a purchase that's waiting now. It's important to point out that Sinclair is the largest holder of ABC affiliates in the country right now. And there is a lot of movement afoot. I don't know if people know this or not, but there's an FCC dictum that you can't own and reach more than 39% of the households in America. And Sinclair has been fighting for a long time to get past that. And so there are deals on the back end of this with the FCC involved that put a certain amount of pressure on those companies and a certain amount of pressure that those companies can exert with the FCC to try to get what they want in the back end.
So does that include political content that they're trying to curtail, or is it
includes
different?
Whatever
side?
they want to do to try to get their businesses at the forefront of this, to be able to force a merger through. If the FCC, which is controlled by the Trump administration, wants to kill a merger now, you kind of have to show fealty. And that's sort of what this has kind of come down to at this point.
You use the word dictum, so I will forgive you for not knowing the date of the QHS Q&E volleyball.
Thank you.
You've been absolved.
I appreciate that.
That's a nice word. So.
Dictum, damn near killed him. All right.
And then we have
back.
They're back. Okay, great. Jesus. So again, this situation, it's not, it's not a good situation. But again, you're right. I can't remember I've never watched Kimmel's show.
I never have.
You know when I
either.
watched Kimmel? I liked the Man Show.
Yeah.
That was the Jimmy
Right?
Kimmel. I liked him and Carolla. Yes, okay.
Who has somehow migrated to the other ends of the political spectrum.
Yeah,
from each other.
Yeah.
so wild.
And it's funny because, Carolla, you would think that would be a natural thing because, the Man Show was kind of that way. And then
Right.
Kimmel, like you said, Kimmel sort of did this 180. I watch Stewart a lot and I watch Bill Maher a lot, and those guys have no problem going after everybody. They were two of the loudest voices to go against Biden when it was clear that Biden was fading fast. And they showed no mercy. They went after him, and they've also gone after Trump. Heck, Maher has gone to dinner at the White House. So those guys, I think if you take shots at both sides,
You're free and clear.
you're free and clear.
Yeah.
But when you just pound on the one side, and again, you can't, the whole Biden thing was a travesty. The way they did it, he should have never run again. They should have had an open primary.
Wild.
The Democratic Party did that, and there were a few Democrats like Stewart and Maher who called him out.
Yeah.
But if you're not going to call him out, then no, it's our job. And again, they're comedians, okay?
Right.
They're comedians. Take it for what it's worth. We're supposed to call balls and strikes.
Yeah.
And I try to do that. And to the best of my ability, I truly do.
Do we know what their numbers? I mean, not that I'll have to look, but like what their numbers look like recently, if that has anything to do with it, because I think people are getting tired of the political divisiveness.
Well, the other issue is, again, it's like all of television in general. In audience in general is dipped. We have several television stars who've seen the light and who've now come to work for fine online companies.
That's right. That's right.
But it's all going to online, and if you look at back when Colbert got taken off the air. He had the highest ratings as far as like Nielsen ratings, but when you looked at the web traffic of clips on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, Kimmel and Fallon were blowing him away.
Yeah.
So again, it's a different world, and television ratings are just not a barometer. I would assume, I'm not asking you to share any state secrets or former inside information, but I would assume that perhaps some of those corporations probably follow that as well, and they pay a great deal of attention to the online analytics.
Absolutely they do, because that's their business, and there's absolutely nothing at all wrong with that.
Yeah.
What cautions me about all of this is, and I know I'm the old guy in the room crying at the world, but where's the basic?
I'm older than you.
Well, where's the basic civility in any of this?
Yeah.
Hear, hear.
Pull back your politics
Cheers.
for a few minutes and realize there's a widow with two beautiful children out there who's grieving. And can't we just put down our soapboxes for just a while and allow some space and grace for people to grieve? Something that was horrible. I don't care what your party affiliation is. I think all most reasonable, decent people can agree what happened to Charlie Kirk was horrible.
And this was a guy who just wanted to talk to people.
That's it.
He wanted to go to college campuses and talk to people who disagreed with him and engage in a dialogue.
Yeah.
That's all the guy wanted to do.
And he lost his life for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
It's a shame.
worst part of it.
It's a shame, and it does. I mean, it just blows my mind every day how hateful we've all become. I always, it's political. It's social media. It's ranting. It's not having to have accountability for comments. It's just insanity. And there's nothing. It doesn't seem like it's going to get better. I mean, it seems like it's just going to keep getting worse, and I don't know how you fix something like that.
Well, and I don't understand how people have become so hateful. Jimmy Kimmel has a platform. He's
Yeah.
rich. Let the world live outside your political sphere a little bit.
Yeah.
And instead, you've taken this wonderful opportunity you've been given, funny guy.
Right.
But you've taken it and you've run too far with it.
Yeah.
And maybe the extremism in our world is something that needs to stop.
It's the radical. It's the radical on both sides.
Again, take
It's
the
incredible.
take the shots at both sides. Yes, if you're not a biggest Donald Trump fan in the world, great. But also, again, hey.
Speaking of shot,
it ain't like Schumer and all that stuff.
Do you think the shot in his ear made him not be able to hear the guy when he asked about Charlie Kirk's murder? Because that was flabbergasting.
Are you talking about Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Oh, where he wanted to talk about the ballroom?
ballroom.
Yeah, that was a.
Is
that
it
was a bit
real?
much.
Is that real?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a bit much. Yeah.
So-
yeah, he was asked about how he felt about Charlie Kirk, and then he decided to talk about the ballroom renovation.
I feel like maybe he didn't hear the question. I hope.
I think he had a focus that I
Yeah.
want to get my point across, that I'm doing this big beautiful ballroom in the White House.
Goes
and
back
that's
to
what I want
decency.
do. He just wants to go back and talk about what he is doing.
Yeah.
And try to push his agenda, because that's what he or any other president does in their
Absolutely.
position, or governor or whatever.
Yeah.
So
We need somebody to kumbaya us all back together somehow. So I don't know who that's going to be. Speaking of kumbaya us all back together, I do have to eat a little crow.
that was a bad
Is that
crow.
a crow?
That was a bad crow.
No, it's
That was
terrible.
awful. No.
Recently, we've
My
been
duck.
having discussion. Yeah, you're angry, John. We've been having discussions about the Freed Between the Lines book event that's based under the free speech, First Amendment banned books umbrella, and I took some pretty strong offense to a couple of titles, not realizing that they were amongst many other titles and that there was going to be a very small selection. I still have a problem with some of the content of some of these books that are going to be offered.
Yeah.
But I think I maybe overstated the problem. I do, again, still have a problem with taxpayers paying these things if they don't all agree with them. But my reaction was a little overstated without having all the facts, so I do want to eat a little crow on that.
Again, yeah, and we're going to post the full list of all the books that are going to be available, because the Quincy Public Library just released that list. We've been asking for that. We've been, really trying to find out, the library board exactly how they operate, because they haven't been the most transparent organization. They seem to fail to realize they are a governing body, they are a taxing body, and they should be accountable to the public. And their open meetings aren't as open as they should be, and they really don't. Again, we're the only media outlet apparently paying attention to them right now, which is sad, because they've just fired they're getting ready to fire their executive director without really saying why. You had this whole deal with the book that that a lady tried to talk about at the meeting, and she was kind of shot down when some of the board members wanted to talk about it, because the president didn't want to talk about it because she took offense or had issues with the book or what have you. And again, I don't want to ban books. I don't want to burn books. But if you're going to put that kind of content in there, it better be in a specialized area, and it shouldn't be in the kids section. Now, they said it wasn't, the young adults, what have you, but still, it should be separated and all that stuff. I mean, it kind of goes back to the whole issue of, again, the library is for the entire family, and it is for people of all races, creeds, colors, genders, what have you. So if somebody wants to read that, it should be in their section, that's fine. It's like the old days when you had family video, and you had the movies in the back that,
Yeah,
and
behind
people
the
would-
swinging doors. Yeah, trust me, I took some peeks.
But I think that part of that was, yes, family videos for the whole family.
Yeah.
That was always what I said when I'd have somebody, oh my God, they got porno movies back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, they do.
So again, it should all be available. Again, people should have access if they want to have access, as long as it's not, showing stuff that harms children, animals, all that stuff, obviously. So, but again, so we'll have that list out on Muddy River News here pretty soon, so you'll get to see all the books that are going to be part of this event. We will cover the library board meeting again Monday, because perhaps we're going to get some closure on the executive director issue.
Right.
And we'll keep covering the story, because one of the discussions we had was, well, if we're the only ones there, nobody else cares. Why are we caring? Well, because that's our job.
Yeah.
We care, it's because it's our job.
Yeah,
We're there
somebody
because
asked.
other people can't be at meetings. So we go to those meetings so you can find out the kind of stuff that's going on here. And I think that's the whole point of what we do is, not everybody wants to go sit at a county board meeting, park board, pick a board. Nobody wants to go to those meetings. But sometimes you get mad at something they're going to do and you want to go to that meeting, but people can't go to the meeting because they're working or taking care of their families or whatever. That's why we do what we do. That's why when we show you something and we share something on our social media, we want you to read the whole story.
Read it.
Click the damn link.
Yeah.
Don't just read the headline. There was something today about that we had a story on Governor Pritzker, and they said something. I'm like, if you would look in the story, you'll have your question answered.
Well, and half the time people are only reading the comments, finding someone who they agree with, and then piggybacking on that.
Or
and
finding someone to
nothing
argue.
do.
Or they're finding someone to argue
I mean,
with.
somebody told me on the comment, I don't know why you're wasting your time. You can't change it anyway. Well, I don't agree with that mentality. Okay, so let's just stop there. But I feel like they didn't have anything else to offer, so they were just kind of arguing with me about why I was paying attention. Like, well, I guess somebody has to, and it's kind of our job.
Well, it's informed citizenry. That's what
Yeah.
we're all supposed to be.
Right.
Do you want us to not
Pay
be here?
attention.
I mean,
Gotta pay attention.
And again, I think when you talk about what we do and the growth of what we do and the open access and availability, we have made it very clear. And people who we have had discussions with and talked to made it very clear that we want Muddy River News to be accessible for everybody that has the internet. We do not want to go behind a paywall. We do not want to do subscribers. So we have advertisers. We have banner ads. We have people who want to have sponsored content on our site. And we've had more of that lately. And I've had some people who've been questioning me about it. And I've said, if you would like to pay, if we could get 10,000 people to pay X number of dollars a month, and we could get them committed forever to subscribe to Muddy River News, we'll take all the ads off.
Yeah.
But we want to do that. And I think advertisers see the value in us and getting their message out through us.
Sure.
Whether it's sponsoring the sports stuff or whether it's sponsoring Daily Muddy or what have you, or Coffee Talk or Minutes with the Mayor, all that kind of stuff that we want to be able to bring to people so they can find out what the heck is going on in their community.
Well, and that's just it. We're a community organization first and foremost. That's the duty we're charged with. You may not agree with it, you may not like what we do or what we say, but we're here ultimately to try to serve your best interest in everything that we do, because if we're not, we have no traction with any of you.
Yeah.
If that's not our aim goal at the end of the day, then we don't really have any relevancy and we'll cease to exist.
Yeah.
And again, we don't, we cover local news, but when national news impacts us locally in a certain way, we will pick up on it and cover it. When our governor chimes in on the Jimmy Kimmel situation, when Senator Hawley chimes in on the Charlie Kirk situation, those are the people who we elect on each side of the river to represent us. So we want people to know what their elected representatives are saying, and that's why we do that as well. So again, it's just trying to bring information to people. Again, our website, 3 websites that we have that we do a lot of fun stuff with, and we've got this great company we work with.
I was going to say, talk about open access. We got them here tonight.
That's right.
Woohoo!
And we're going to talk about all kinds of good stuff about the company Vervocity and what they do to help bring Muddy River News to you, and we'll do that right after this.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
Cody Kayla Hageman from Vervocity, welcome.
Hey, hey, hey.
Kayla can stay. She wore the right color. Cody, get the hell out.
Nope, not leaving. We got a big game on Saturday night, so.
Okay, first off, it's a Big Ten game, so nobody cares. Second of all, the SEC, Mizzou, the Battle of the Columbias is the game Saturday, by the way, just so you know. I think we're going to start playing you guys in football soon, aren't we?
I hope so. I know a few years back we played each other, but Mizzou always had the better of that rivalry. So.
I went to a couple of those. That was fun. Of course, I also went to a few when I was in college where Mizzou
blah,
lost.
blah.
Stop it. So anyway, and in basketball, it's been pretty even lately, but Illinois has always had our number. So.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, welcome. You guys are the owners of Vervocity, the company that built our websites, and I want to publicly tell you, you do a fantastic job.
Fantastic.
Anytime anybody asks me if they have web issues, I say go to Vervocity. They take care of us. They'll take care of you. You guys are so responsive. You have a fantastic team, and I have a lot of stupid questions. So that's great, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah, very supportive. And you guys do a lot that I didn't realize. So I worked with you guys way back when for my other job, right? And you guys knocked it out of the park. We still use it as kind of like our example site that when we're building out our other one, we're like, look at this one, okay?
Awesome.
Model it after this,
Awesome.
yes.
Yeah.
You guys did everything we needed. It looks great. Still to this day, operates seamlessly. But now you're doing things like storytelling. And I know you do that with a website anyway, but now you're doing it in a form of like videography. And,
Absolutely.
right? Is that
Yeah.
new? Have you guys?
Oh, no. So Kayla and I, we had the opportunity to purchase Vervocity in 2020.
March 1st.
March 1st of 2020. So that was a lot of fun around that time for sure.
Yeah.
And at that time, there was actually two businesses, Media Development, which was an agency that's been in town for over 30 years. But we combined both businesses into just Vervocity. So as a whole, the organization offers website development, videography, marketing services, and then we do custom programming and mobile app development as well. So
Yeah.
we have basically 4 departments, total of 17 staff
employees.
members now, all full-time, all local. One of the things we do is we pride ourselves on the fact that we do everything in-house with local employees.
Yeah.
So,
Very cool.
and I
And
think-
two of the, the power couple here who run the whole
Right.
show.
yeah.
Try.
Because again, when we first started, somebody else was doing our site, and then we needed a bigger team, and we knew that Vervocity had a bigger team, and I'd heard great things about you. I'd known you guys kind of on a social basis and stuff, but just to really work with you on this kind of stuff, and when you really rolled up your sleeves and helped us get going. It was great, and it's been fantastic. And we've had a couple of news site changes, we have a couple of sports site changes. We built the app, we have the TV site. So all this cool stuff that we do that is because of you guys, and we just feed the beast. But you guys are the ones that kind of keep the beast running, so to speak. And when I think the great thing is that we've got this system that if I can just send an email to their support that says help,
Yeah.
and they're really responsive.
That's what you need. When you don't know how to
And-
do things.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
again, like I say, the website. We have this thing. We had a server issue about a year or so ago that with the website, when it got too much traffic, it would bog down, or we would send out a newsletter, and it would bog down, and nobody could get on, and it was a real problem. But you guys came up with a solution, and we haven't had that trouble since.
Right, that's
Yeah.
one of the other core things that we offer is hosting server management. So for the majority of our clients, we handle the hosting of their websites, and we can monitor that and manage it. So in your case, when you have a very popular news story that goes out there, we need to make certain that your website can stay up and running. So we have those necessary things in place to ensure that if it gets that huge influx of traffic, it's going to stay up and running so users can continue to see that content.
Yeah. And you were so excited to come on here tonight, Kayla. I'm surprised you're being so quiet. Just kidding. No, I'm kidding.
I'm gonna ask.
Yeah, we got some questions.
I've got a Kayla specific question.
Okay, all right.
So, because Kayla was the one that really built the new sports site, and she met with me and with Matt and with Chris to say, okay, and I wanted really Chris and Matt's vision. I wanted to hear their vision, her to hear their vision.
Sure.
And she did. And the site, once it launched, it was like, we saw the test, it was like, man, this is great. First couple nights, you're working through the bugs. And now it's like, okay, everything gets updated, stuff just pops up in there, the scores that happened, the teams that are going to play. What does it take to make it so that site is so easy for a bunch of knuckleheads like us to use?
Well, everything that we do with our websites is custom to our client. So we understand what you need and how you need to be able to update it. So we make sure that we put those things in place to make it easy. I did a lot of research into what other websites were doing to make sure that what I pulled over to your website kind of fit along with that. And just keeping in mind, you guys are busy and you need to be able to have a quick way to update everything and get everything in its place. And as much stuff as we could automate with creating certain pages and things like that, we wanted to make sure we put that in place too. And I can't take full credit.
Okay.
I did the design, but I have another staff member that really helped with the back end development of that. So her name is Mary, and I want to give her credit for everything
Shout out
that
Mary.
she
Mary's
did
one
as
of the
well.
people that also answers when I send out a bat signal.
Because I know the back end is tough. I mean, I didn't know going into some of the things that I've been doing with. I didn't know I was going to become a web developer, right? When you're working with these people, you get so immersed into it. When I'm working with people like Vervocity, I start learning things that I never thought I would learn. Very cool, very in depth, and can get very confusing and scary at times, right? And there are some times where you're like using code and you're building things with modules, and it's like, oh my God, I never knew it took this much to make a website work. I mean, it really is an underrated art. It's very, very cool.
Yeah, and it's super fun to do.
Yeah.
So any kids that are like looking to go into that direction in their future, like do it, because it's so much fun, and you can be creative and create different things, and learning the ins and outs and having critical thinking to be able to think through, how do I get from what the client wants to deliver that final product to what's everything that needs to happen in between.
Right.
And it takes a lot of in-depth thinking there, and we have a lot of thinkers on our team.
And again, when you're doing our site, okay, if you're going to do a site, okay, if you're going to do Ashley's widgets, and Ashley's going to sell widgets, you build the site, right? Building our site's a completely different animal, right?
Oh, yes.
And you have to build it so, and also, again, on the back end and the servers and stuff, you know, Ashley's widgets is going to get, you know, so much traffic, but our site, especially at certain times, traffic's going to blow up, and you have to make sure the train stays on the tracks.
Yes.
So what is the difference? What do you have to do to go from the Ashley's widget sites to a Muddy River News type site?
You want to answer that one?
Yeah, so a lot, excuse me, a lot of the measures that we have in place for your website centers along caching. So we ensure that if your website gets an influx of traffic, that it's not always constantly pulling from. I know I'm getting really technical here.
No,
No, you're good.
It's not pulling from.
I understand it, so it's not that technical yet.
Yeah, so it's not constantly having to render the page. It's pulling from a version of the page that's already been rendered. So users are seeing something that's already been displayed to another user, a cached version of the site. So if you're starting to get hundreds of thousands of users to hit the website, it can ensure that it's delivering that content, and you don't get some of those weird errors that you see on a website that makes it inaccessible. So we ensure that your website is set up with those necessary measures so that it won't go down in the event. I mean, early on when we started working with you guys, we had to adjust the server to ensure that it could handle that amount of traffic. We had some tremendous amount of traffic on some of those articles years ago.
Yeah.
So we've gotten it to a place now where if that were to happen again, that we ensure
ready.
that your site will
Well, Nelly would have been one of those.
Well, and I know the other two, but I don't want to rehash all of them. I just want to mention that Ashley's widgets will be killing it if and when I ever.
If you need a website.
But I have
You have to market it.
Yes,
You have to market
yes. And I have to go through Vervocity, not only for the site, but you guys do the ERP, the e-commerce stuff, right? Yeah,
Absolutely.
which
Yep.
is not easy.
We manage several large e-commerce websites for clients, and it's just as important ensuring that if they're doing a promotional campaign for free shipping or running a Black Friday sale, for example, we got to ensure that the site stays up and running when they start pushing out those advertisements.
Yeah.
So that's all a part of the hosting service that we offer.
So in hearing you talk about it, you do get technical, but I love that you kind of nerd out on it. I kind of nerd out on it. It's something that you have to do owning a company like Vervocity.
Absolutely.
So how did you get here? Can I ask that?
Sure. So I started. So okay, I'll go all the way back.
Yeah, go back.
2000
Let's go back.
graduate of Quincy High School.
What?
2004 graduate of Quincy University. I got a degree in computer science. I also went there for business. Got my first job right out of college in 2004. Was thrown right into it all with building custom programming applications. I then moved into more of a managerial role, overseeing a team of developers. Then moved into a general manager role, and I kind of served in that role until 2020. The previous ownership underwent a lot of different purchases of other businesses. We had some different name changes. Kayla started working for us in 2013. I actually had one of my developers quit on me. Didn't even give it 2 weeks notice, just up and quit. In the middle of multiple projects. Kayla was working someplace else at that time, so
I was ready to go.
Yeah.
He was ready to leave that position.
Were you a couple at this time already?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we met in. I'll back up a little bit more. Yeah.
married.
So back in 2008, we met at a Quincy Chamber of Commerce ribbon cutting. I was forced to tag along with one of our sales reps to
Dean.
Dean Lavelle.
Dean Lavelle.
Dean. So before a client meeting, we stopped in at a ribbon cutting, and she actually worked at a competitor at that time. So we met one another, and I knew who she was, just because of the fact that she worked at a competitor.
And she's gorgeous.
Later that evening, I got a message from her on, what was it, MySpace? I can't remember at that time. But anyway.
Yep, top 10.
I think it was
Yeah.
Yahoo Messenger
Maybe
too.
Yahoo Messenger.
AOL.
She reached out to
AOL.
me. So yeah, we started dating, and we got married in 2009, and then she started working for the business in 2013.
Wow.
So yeah, she was hired on as a web developer, and obviously she still dabbles in that a little bit.
Sure,
she tries
sure.
to get outside of that role, but yeah, she handles all the creative aspect of it. I handle a lot of the business side of the company, but she's definitely the brains behind it.
You mentioned the creative stuff because whenever I have some idea or one of you guys, somebody, hey, we should try this, and I
Yeah.
go and have one of my pretty regular meetings with these guys, Kayla's eyes will light up.
Oh, I love
And
something new.
she starts
Yeah.
like rubbing her hands together.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Oh,
ooh, like when I said, we really need to, when we told him Chris was coming aboard, I think we really need to make the website more video friendly. I think we need, and she was just like,
Can we do this
it
too?
was Christmas. Can we do it? Can we do
Yeah.
it? It's like, we're going to have Fred's websites do our thing. No,
Right.
anything we do, it's like, hey, can you help us with this? And again, she turned it, and it was, again, Chris, we knew Chris was coming aboard July-ish or whatever. I told him, and then she had 6 weeks to work on it maybe, and
like that.
she just crushed it.
Yeah.
Absolutely crushed it.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, it's again, I treasure our partnership. I treasure our friendship. It's one of those times where you know who you want to have in your foxhole.
Yeah.
And these are
yeah.
two of the people I want to have in my foxhole, along with everybody in this room
Right.
and else such. So
One big happy family.
exactly.
Yeah.
And now I want you to brag about us and talk about all the traffic and what a great website we are. You can go now.
Oh my
Thanks.
gosh, no.
Oh no, you guys! Seriously though, you guys have been an excellent partner. We love the things that you guys are doing for the community. It's desperately needed to see actual local news
Right.
posted out there. So it's been fantastic. You guys have been awesome to work with, and yeah, we couldn't be happier with.
We
the
have
partnership.
those holy shit moments though, like you said, when you have a story that'll spike or traffic or whatever, and it's like, how are we getting this much traffic in Quincy, Illinois on a story like that or whatever?
Yeah.
It's just, and again, I try to look and compare to other sites around the country who are doing what we're doing, and I just went to this conference in St. Louis a couple weeks ago, and I kind of told what our traffic was and what we were doing, and they're all like, what? How many people are in your town? I'm like, 40,000. And they're like, well, how's your traffic that big? I'm like, I don't know.
We're just good. We're that good.
So
So
it's just-
when you're talking about websites, when I think about websites, I'm like, they're going to be around forever. I mean, who knows what the way in the future is going to look like? But for now, things are changing so rapidly. I know AI is played out. Everybody's tired of talking about it, but I am curious how it's changing your world, if at all.
Yeah, so AI is one of those things where, I mean, obviously it's not going to go away.
No.
It's only going to continue to grow. So we always take the mindset of you need to embrace it and you need to use it as a tool. But I'm a believer that it's never going to completely replace what we do and what our employees
Right.
do. The things that we do that are so custom and so specific to our clients' needs can't necessarily be replaced by AI. Now,
Right.
100 years down the road, hard telling. But AI is so new, and I know it's still evolving, that you just have to embrace it and you have to use it as a tool, which we do.
Sure.
We do use it as a tool. We don't use it to do our job 100%, but it's something that you have to embrace because
Yeah.
it's not going to
not
go
going
away.
away.
Well, I've seen some instances locally where I can tell there have been people who are reporting on stories in this community who are basically taking the audio feed from the meeting and doing an AI summary
Oh,
on it
yeah.
and
Yeah.
kicking it out,
Oh,
and I'm
yeah.
just like,
It's definitely
that's not
abused
the way
in
to
certain
go.
things. But when you have something that you want to touch people in a certain way, and I hate using the word touch because it sounds so freaking perverted. But you want people to consume it a certain way. I'll say that. You have to have your creativity behind it. Otherwise, everything's cookie cutter and everything's the same, and you don't stand out. And with a website, that's like your story. That's your face that stops Bob from having to go all over the town and scream what we're doing here at Muddy River News, right? So it's very important to stay excited about creativity and to use the tools that are at your disposal to help pull this stuff off easier. But I like the fact that you mentioned that you're embracing it, but not, I guess, capitalizing on it, right? You're not
Yeah,
like
it's not replacing what
Yeah.
what we traditionally do.
Yeah, very cool.
And the thing with AI is a lot of times you can kind of tell what's AI generated,
Sure.
whether
Oh,
it's a
yeah.
video, whether it's content.
Yes.
There are certain things within those content pieces that you can just tell
Yeah.
if it's AI, such as what you said. If you're taking an audio file and run it through AI to create
Right.
an actual, actual content, you're likely going to be able to tell.
Right. What other challenges because I know what we struggle with daily, and as you heard, we're talking about topical things all the time. We're talking about things, we're kind of inundated with stuff, and it's sometimes it's all a lot to swallow. So in your industry, what is kind of one of the things that maybe you didn't expect, either going into it or owning such a great company?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's definitely some things that come with, being the owners of a business
Yeah.
For certain things that you have to deal with.
No, please tell me what that's
Because
about.
we are a very family first focused company. I mean, we believe in family first. So, when it comes to flexibility with our employees, we want to ensure that they don't miss, a kid's performance or a kid's soccer game or whatever it may
Right.
be. So we're extremely flexible there. But I mean, it's been great. We wouldn't change it for anything. But
Yeah.
obviously there are the times where we want our employees to see us as not the bosses.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily want to, be friends with everyone and try to, do that. But I mean, we are friends with everyone, but that's not the atmosphere that we're going for. We're going
Right.
for very family first, but at the same time, we know where to draw the line and be the boss
Got
if
a
needed.
job
But
to get
sometimes
done.
it can be tough.
Yeah.
It can be
Yeah,
tough
yeah.
to be the boss. But
I'm the boss, don't
5
you
years
forget
into it, we're used to it now.
Yeah.
But
Well, I feel like being, a married couple trying to kind of establish I don't want to say boundaries, but yeah, you want to be family oriented. You want that feel, but you also have a job to get done. So it's like, where do we, how can we say, God, get this done and
Yeah.
still go have a beer after,
But
right?
our client or our employees get that.
Yeah.
They understand that we're flexible so that you can go do the things you need to do, but they come in and they work
They
their
work.
asses off.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and
that's- we get
they
that
are on every ticket that comes in immediately. They are taking care of people with great attitudes. And hey, your son has a soccer game at 4:30. Go for it.
See you later.
Yeah, see you later. Go do those things, and then when you come in tomorrow, let's kick ass again.
Yes.
And it's
Yeah.
just one of those things where it's give and take, where they know that we're going to allow that, so they're going to give us 110%
Sure.
while they're there.
I don't
Yeah.
think a lot of people realize that by being flexible and offering that to employees, that is a huge benefit. A benefit doesn't always have to be in the form of, monetary or,
Sure.
health insurance and, the usual benefits. But to have that flexibility, I mean, the number of comments that we hear from our employees during, annual reviews or mid-year reviews, and they talk about the flexibility.
Yeah.
They just love it.
I mean, the environment is such a huge, obviously you're immersed in it every single day, right? So you want to be able to have fun, which we don't have any around here. But
I am a dick.
you do also have to know, I didn't say it, guys.
Well.
I did not say it. Yeah, those words did not come out of my mouth. No. But I think it is really important to have that environment where you feel comfortable, but also know that there are expectations, and it is a give and a take. I think it's very, very cool. Now, how many people do you have working there?
Including us, 17.
Okay.
Do you not listen?
I do, but I forgot and I didn't want to get the number wrong. So do you guys I've never visited your office. I think I need to.
You should come
Come on over.
Yeah. Is it set up in like a weird, so you have like pods and stuff, or are you guys more,
Well, so we're located at 129 North 4th. It's the old
Yeah.
Beeline Express building, and it was set up originally as office on the first floor and then residential on the second and the third. So we moved into that building. We purchased the building in 2020. We just wanted our own space. Being a company that does marketing, we wanted to be able to do whatever we wanted to the building.
Yeah.
So we wanted to own something. So we did some minor changes to make it look more. It still has that comfort feeling to it, but it has more of a commercial feeling to it as well.
Sure.
Yeah, no, we don't have pods. I mean, we have people that will. I mean, it's
Sit together
It was
and-
residential before,
Yeah,
so
it's
there are
open space.
It's open space.
Yeah.
So we have the departments kind of segmented into
Yeah.
different areas. But we've got that open concept type of feeling, but still gives some of the employees the privacy that they need.
Sure, yeah, very open.
Yeah, come on
with
over
that.
anytime.
I need to
It's-
check it
it's
out
great.
because I am
Next
so.
meeting I have, I'll have you come on over.
Yeah, because I think we need to take some tips. For our new our area out there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
There you go.
But you'll never be able to replicate standing on our back deck
No.
and smelling tiramisu. It's amazing. It's amazing.
How often do you eat there?
Too much.
That's probably too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
Worth
convenient.
it.
I don't know if
So
too much is a
convenient.
thing,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
if it was a thing, probably.
Yeah.
Those are good neighbors to have, that's
When
for
you
sure.
Oh,
forget your
absolutely.
lunch and you're like, oh, let's just go grab a pizza. And
There we
Yes.
go.
Yeah.
That's
Right
so
down
good.
there. So, real quick, social media. How much of a big part of that is that with you and your clients?
Pretty big. That's a big part of our marketing services that we offer. So clients that don't necessarily want to have to come up with content to post on social media, we'll put a strategy together for them. So we'll work with them to understand what their goals are, what they want to target, and then we'll craft the post, we'll design the posts, and then we'll set up a schedule to release those. So we have several clients that we handle social media 100% for them. They're completely hands off. But if you go to the social media page, you'll see content.
Yeah.
And some clients, without hiring a business like ours to do that for them, they wouldn't have anything on social media.
Sure.
Well, and I think that's one of the things that when we talk to our clients, and we have a lot of mutual clients as well, and we will say, okay, well, we can help you share this if you want. And if you buy an ad package with us, we'll share some stuff for you. And
Yeah.
and that's been a really good benefit that people have really taken to. And again, I know, like I said, you've got some great clients who we also do business with us, and it's real easy in those cases just to it's kind of plug and play with a lot of the stuff too. And I know Ashley does a lot of the social media stuff for some local people too, and it's just something that you have to have, even though the social media comments suck and
Yeah.
it's a cesspool.
Yes.
The getting your face and your word out there, and if it's a restaurant, you want to say, hey, we're having our Italian beef or whatever. Now
Yeah.
you want people to know what's available for
Real
lunch
time.
and dinner
Yeah.
and breakfast and
Absolutely.
all that. But just do that stuff and just don't read the
What a lot of
comments.
people don't realize is when somebody searches for a business on Google, Facebook is often, their Facebook page is often one of the highest results.
Yeah.
So if you're not keeping that updated and somebody were to click on that instead of their website and they see
Right.
posts from 2022, it just gives a different feeling than
Yeah.
if you see relevant updated posts.
Right.
We had a new, relatively new advertiser who came aboard, and I said, I'll do your face. Oh yeah, I really need some work on my Facebook. And yeah, they hadn't had a post in 2 years. I'm like, dude, I'm not sharing a 2-year-old post. You need to start
Yeah.
posting regularly.
Right.
Post once. If you post once a week, I'll share it. That's what you got to do to get going. And to his credit, he's a young business owner in town. He's been very diligent, and he will. I said, look, I am trying to not be on Facebook as much. That's kind of what I pay Brittany for,
You're right.
is to be the Facebook bulldog. And I said, but if you want me to share your text, just text and go new post.
Yeah.
And I'll do
Absolutely.
it. And I do it, and it works great.
But it's very relevant, speaking of AI, because AI is scraping all of that. And
Oh, yes.
and now it's, it used to be sponsored content by Google, and now AI is kind of taking over, and you're seeing that show up first. So if you don't have that content, you're missing the boat. And you guys do all of that.
Absolutely.
So it's like,
Yep.
hands off, hand it
Yeah,
to you
we have
guys.
some clients that are, wondering why their website traffic is dropping. Well, your website traffic is dropping because Google is giving you the answer right when you search.
Yeah.
You'll see something say
don't need to
AI,
click.
AI
Yeah.
overview, and they're getting their
That's-
answer right there.
yeah.
They're not
Oh, I
having to
know.
click to the website.
Yep.
So, but you're having to change your strategy so that you are appearing in the AI overviews and you're being recommended as one of the recommended websites.
And that's
Yeah,
the nice
sources.
thing about it, is that we've seen our Google numbers go up, and we've seen that we're getting more traffic. And the AI overviews that we're getting, they're like, oh, they suck, and so they'll still come to us.
Sure.
And we can still see all that of who people have come through us through Facebook, Google, X, whatever.
I see Muddy
So-
River News as a source on ChatGPT all the time. So
Yeah.
you're doing some good things.
Good.
Yeah.
So, well, I think that's about it. Kayla, you survived.
You did.
I didn't say a lot.
Good.
but I
You did
survived.
great.
You did fantastic.
Hey, I tried. So now you guys can go talk about volleyball. How's that?
Right, and then I need to go visit your
Yeah,
absolutely.
your
All right.
area.
Well,
so.
thank you again for your partnership. It's
Yeah.
great, and we look forward for it to continuing. And best of luck for you guys in the future.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And I just
Thank
want to finish by saying we could not do what we do without our employees.
Yeah.
Our employees are what makes Vervocity. It's not us.
Yeah.
We have just exceptional staff who work their tails off.
Except Dean, right? You don't
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
Dean.
not
Yeah,
Dean.
Dean. Yeah.
I love
We're kidding, Dean.
Yeah,
No,
he's
not.
the best.
No, not
That's awesome. So,
But yes,
best.
our staff is wonderful.
We just
so.
couldn't fit them all around the table, but
No.
we do appreciate everything that you all do for us. Yeah, we couldn't do it without you. We definitely don't want to do it without you. So keep up what you're doing, keep up the good work, and I'm excited to see what you guys do in the future.
Thank you.
Thank
thanks,
you.
guys.
Good
Thanks for having
stuff.
us.
We'll see you next
Appreciate
week.